City Council for October the 28th. Our prayer givers are gone. Treasurer's gone, city attorney's gone. Does anybody want to give a prayer?
I did all things
We'll all be very thankful, and when they come back, we'll let them do this. Okay?
They do it twice.
All right, roll call.
Boyer.
Here.
Branson.
Here.
Hughes.
Here.
Kemper.
Here.
Smith.
Yes, here. Please stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We don't have any petitions, correspondence, awards, no proclamations, citizens' participation.
I guess that's
Mary Ann.
me.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Mary Ann Creech, if you don't already know me. My husband and I own the Paris Resale Shop, so I am here about the ordinance number 15 that was discussed last meeting. I think it's great. I just want to get some clarification to make sure that I am doing what the city asks me to do. So, I have some notes.
Okay.
My first thing is 3B, which is to close up at 5 o'clock each day. We close our business at 6, and I know several other resale shops in town close at 6, and I was hoping to have that changed to 6 instead of 5 o'clock.
I was going to ask about that when we passed it, only to the point that some businesses are open in the summertime, especially even until 8. I think the purpose of this was just to make sure it was some time. I think your request is very reasonable, and I think we should be reasonable.
I think when we first discussed it, and I guess maybe we missed that point, but when we first discussed it, it was closing time.
Oh, that's-
Whenever they closed. That's what it was. I don't know that it couldn't be made at closing time, whenever the closing
Yeah,
time is.
instead of the time, just put closing time.
Closing time.
Yeah, when you shut down, that's, so
And
we'll,
that's customarily what we do now.
Okay.
It's hard for me to leave at 5 o'clock, I keep the business open, but run outside, and usually it's just me there by myself.
so 3 would be what?
Good
B,
point.
3B.
3B would be closing.
Closing time. Now, Mary Ann, well, we can't pass it tonight because it's not on the agenda, but we'll tell you that that's what we're going to put it on the agenda for the next meeting, which will be the 12th of November. But in
Okay.
the meantime, we'll tell the chief of police that it's closing time,
Okay.
okay?
Then, I guess actually it was one before that. For 2A, when it asks for an application, I was curious, and it's not necessarily for me, but for other businesses in town, is a copy of a business license from the state of Illinois going to be required to obtain a license from the city of Paris,
2B,
2A.
or 2A?
2A, no second-hand goods dealer shall operate in the city limits of Paris, Illinois without first receiving a license to do issued by the city of Paris, that one?
Right. What I was wondering is, on the application, is there going to be some time or some place where they ask for an actual business license from the state of Illinois to apply for the license for the city of Paris?
I didn't think that applied to resale shops too.
Well, you have to have a business license.
You do have?
Yes, absolutely. I pay sales tax, and I have to have a business license,
Okay.
which should be required for the city of Paris to have a license.
Is it the state business license?
Yes, sir.
Good question.
Okay. So we'll look, so that should be that no can operate, receiving a license to do so issued by the city of Paris and the state of Illinois.
Or just have to turn in your copy of your state license to get the city license.
Right. Okay.
My next question was 3B about a fence. Is there a particular kind of fence? I noticed in the ordinances about junkyards, there was specifics on what kind of fence to be put up. And it just says a fence to keep things out of the way.
Screening would mean that it's not visible.
I think it goes, yeah, if you go on, it says a fence of such nature as to be out of sight.
Out of sight.
I think that means the stuff behind the fence out of sight.
Okay, so more of a privacy fence
I
than
think
a
so.
chain link fence kind of thing, okay. I just wanna make sure.
And the chain link, you can get the slats.
The slats, and that was another part of that,
That's what you
to make sure
decided.
that that was okay, okay. A big part of my question is 4A about records. Now, we keep our own records, and we've been very proactive about this for a long time. But we buy a lot of our goods, not necessarily always from people that come in the store, but from auctions, from estates, from yard sales, from everything else. Am I supposed to keep record of all of that? Like if I buy an estate?
The chief can probably answer that because he's gonna be the one that's gonna be checking your records.
How do you want, I mean, if I go to an auction and I spend $2,000, and am I supposed to inventory everything that came from this auction? Or if I go to a yard sale and buy things? Or is it just from people coming into my store to buy things?
I think the intent of that is for the people that are coming in selling it over the counter.
Well,
to you.
and that's normally what we do, is we
Right.
keep track of it. Again, I'm just
Right,
trying to make sure I follow all the rules and I make sure I know what I'm doing.
yeah, that's for over the counter purchases, is my understanding of it, and that's the way I took it.
Okay, okay.
Over the counter.
Then I guess this one goes more to you then. Are you going to have a form you want us to fill out? Do you want us to keep doing it like, I mean, I try to do it the best way I can.
We haven't come up with a form, I mean, I know that, any kind of log that you would generate yourself that just has the item, description,
Right.
model, serial, the person you purchased it from,
Well, I mean,
would be sufficient.
Right, normally that's what we do, and then if it's somebody I don't know, we take their pictures, I take a picture of their ID, I take a picture of the items. I mean, like I said, we're pretty proactive about it, but I didn't know if there was gonna be some standardization that you wanted.
We haven't looked into it, but it may not hurt to put a standardized form across all the stores, so
Okay.
that's something we'll have to look at.
Okay, and, let's see. Oh, and number 7, about revoking the license. There was another question I had about another ordinance that is actually already on the books. This is chapter 96.041. It says, "It shall be unlawful for any person to use any street, sidewalk, or other public space as space for the display of goods or merchandise for sale, or to write or mark any signs or advertisements on any pavements unless express permission is given by the city council, which is conditioned on the permission, or on the permittee having insurance as specified by the city council." So I know a lot of secondhand places put their goods for sale on the city sidewalks every day. Is that not permitted?
We haven't really just done a lot of discussion on that. We will tell somebody if they're covering too much of the sidewalk, that we expect them to move it back in.
I was just, like I said, it was already on the books that
I
you
think-
can't do that.
I don't know, I'd have to look at the legislative history of that, but it comes to my mind that a lot of these were passed because we had a very active sidewalk sale days for many, many years. I know that you cannot and should not impede a sidewalk from pedestrians, because that's why they're there. Sidewalks aren't there for retail, they're there for, so I know why it was passed, I just don't know why it's still there, and I can see where there may have been some issues with people saying, well, on sidewalk sale days, remember those? They were covered, the whole sidewalk on the square was covered, and probably somebody said, hey, I can't even walk down the street. So maybe that was why. I think we're just gonna use common sense on that,
Okay.
that if you're out there and you got a big sale day and you're out there and nobody's really objecting, I don't think we're gonna terminate. We're always gonna give somebody a warning and say, can you back it up a little?
Yeah, this actually wasn't necessarily for my business,
No,
but
it's
it
not
was for
yours.
someone else who brought it up to my.
What we don't wanna do is, we don't wanna run our people off downtown. We need all the businesses we can have downtown. We need to draw to our city. So those people are limited on what they can display. They aren't like you guys on Jasper Street.
Right,
They
right.
have a lot more display area. They don't have, so like I say, as long as they keep it within reason, I wouldn't think we'd interfere with them at all.
What was that, 96 point what?
96.041.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that. Okay.
that's pretty much the end of my questions right now.
Well, that's all right, and if you come up with any others, because you're in the business. you
Well,
know.
that's what I thought, it might be more helpful to get my input from the other side.
And any time that you want to bring up any suggestions or anything, we have our pre-agenda meetings on Wednesdays, before this one at 4 o'clock here. And so it's kind of like a study session, and you can bring them or give them to Paul ahead of time and let us look into them, and we'll try to get right back with you.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we want to work with you all, because you do run a very good business, and we're aware of
But
that.
we don't follow everything precisely all the time, but we do try to.
Well,
I mean, like I said, we have implemented it. When I saw this actually come across, I mean, I was one of them going, wow, this is great, wonderful, because I do try to follow the rules.
If you bring something up at the pre-agenda meeting, we have time to get it on the agenda for the council on the council meeting night.
Okay,
but we will put the changes you talked about that we feel that we need to change, like closing time, we'll put that on the agenda for
Okay.
next time.
thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mary Ann. Anybody else want to talk? If not, I have the consent agenda, which has been moved by Commissioner Boyer, seconded by Commissioner Kemper, that we approve the minutes of October 15, 2013 regular meeting. Approval of bills to be paid, $358,126.39. Salaries of $133,446.33. And approve 2 purchase orders. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Boyer.
Yes.
Branson.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Kemper.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Under ordinances, I have an ordinance to rezone 911 North Central. It's been moved by Commissioner Boyer, seconded by Commissioner Kemper. I'll entertain a motion to waive reading.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Boyer.
Yes.
Branson.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Kemper.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. What this is address is, again, well, I'll repeat again, it's 911 North Central. It's going to be rezoned if it's passed tonight from R2 to C1. And I think it's, Mr. Martin, isn't it?
Martin Heating and Air Conditioning
He's gonna have his business in his home.
in the building there, in that building there. There'll be no outside display. There's nothing outside at all, so that's why it's a C2 or whatever you got there. That's the reason for that classification.
Okay.
That means you can't pile stuff outside. He's got to keep it inside the buildings.
And I know I saw in my information, I can't find it now, but there was something from the zoning commission showed,
Last meeting.
or the planning
The last
commission.
meeting, we had that, and
Okay, passed unanimously that it be changed. Any further, very good. Any further discussion? Roll call?
Boyer.
Yes.
Branson.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Kemper.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Also have an ordinance annexing property. The property is 619 Browning. It's been moved by Commissioner Branson, seconded by Commissioner Boyer. Entertain a motion to waive reading.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Boyer.
Yes.
Branson.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Kemper.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. This is on the petition from Art and Joyce Gleckler. They own the property commonly known as 619 through 625 Browning Avenue. It is not in the city limits now, but it is contiguous with the city. They are the only ones that could bring it in because it's not totally surrounded, and they have petitioned for it to come in. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Boyer.
Yes.
Branson.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Kemper.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. That's it for me. Commissioner Boyer.
I have nothing tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Branson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I only have one motion to approve final pay estimate to Floyd's Contractors for sidewalk to serve Maple Ridge Apartments in the amount of $4,109.41.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Boyer.
Yes.
Branson.
Yes,
Hughes.
Yes.
Kemper.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Commissioner Hughes.
Mayor, I have one motion to approve hotel and motel fund request for the Harris International Thanksgiving Fellowship for $1,500.
Is there a second?
Second.
You want to go on?
I was gonna say, this is something we always do for the Thanksgiving people that have, people come in and visit their homes and everything.
Any further discussion? Roll call?
Boyer,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Kemper,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. And I think you got an information.
I have one more informational item. First, I'd like to thank Trish Vitale for giving us her information Wednesday evening on the downtown revitalization analysis. And her group right now, they've decided to do a kickoff event to show that they're going to start working on things, and it's going to be a Christmas on the Square. They're trying to bring that back. It's going to be December 7th from 4 to 7. Some of the things we're going to have up on the squares, carriage rides, Santa's going to be up there, Mrs. Claus is going to read some stories, dinner with Santa, I think it's Joe's Pizza. Then they're going to have some entertainment, few of the young people are going to do some singing, and then that little studio, the dance studio, they're going to put on a little performance, maybe in Point Studio or something, you know. And they were just letting me know about that. So this is just kind of a kickoff to the long-term commitment to get the downtown going. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Kemper.
First of all, I want to send my regards out to Jean Deal. I know Dennis is probably with her tonight, because she was pretty bad there for a while, but they say she's doing really good now, so hopefully she'll have a full recovery. I have one motion, Your Honor. It's to approve payment to Harrington Truck and Trailer Repair to repairs to the vac truck in the amount of $5,407.86.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call?
Boyer,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Kemper,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Administrator?
Your Honor.
Okay, any other reports? Any old business? Any new? I have an adjournment, been moved by Commissioner Boyer, seconded by Commissioner Branson. Roll call?
Boyer,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Kemper,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Want to remind everybody, our next pre-agenda is November the 6th. Our next regular meeting is November the 12th, which is Tuesday because of Veterans Day on Monday. So the 6th here at 4 o'clock. Thank you all for coming.